part 2 of 4. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, UK leadership on the Motivator Show.
I will come back to that. I want to focus now, if I may. I want to focus now on yourself as the IPOB. Okay, I'm going to say that now. Okay. Please, sir, I'm going to ask you to just elaborate for us the vision of IPOB. What is your vision? What do you want to achieve?
Okay, well, maybe I was going to say a few things about also this origin, but I'll come back to it maybe in the course of defining our vision and mission. The vision of IPOB is simply to restore the sovereign nation of Biafra, which we call God's kingdom on earth, through, well, that's now diving into the mission, a peaceful democratic means of referendum.
Okay. Now, I don't want you to preempt my questions now, so I don't want you to. I want you to focus on the vision. On the vision, so you want to restore the state of Biafra, but I think you described it as really a confederation of states.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Okay. And you began to outline the boundaries. Okay. And at which point, if we go back prior to European intrusion into the continent, at which point could you say is a point at which the boundaries were defined and acknowledged by the Biafran peoples?
Clearly, historically, we all know that Nigeria came into existence in the rogue amalgamation of 1914, when Frederick Lugard, who was the Queen's representative on the west coast of Africa, was mandated to do a criminal expedition of exploring the possibility of joining the whole lump of 8 different nationalities as one in the scramble for Africa.
Nigeria is a creation of the white man. His name is Frederick Lugard. This is the man that changed the name of Iguacha to Port Harcourt. This is the same man that called you Nigeria in 1914. This is the man that ensured our slavery. This is the man that handed us over to the Philistines. This is the same man that not only disinherited us by removing us from our culture and our way of life, he made it possible for us to remain in darkness. That is why we have come, or should I say, that is why Chukwu Okike Abiyama has determined that we should come.
Basically, African resources. We know what the Europeans did, Berlin Conference and the rest of them. Everybody partitioned Africa and was auctioning Africa, so everybody was grabbing its own. Britain, in their greed, wanted to bring all the nationalities down south, joining with the ones in the north to form what they call Nigeria. And that amalgamation effectively was it was an unholy marriage, which was consummated in 1914. But before then, in the late 18s, the move had already started. I said on your show the last time I was on with you that Biafra existed long before Nigeria. I just gave you the historical antecedents of over 7,000 years. And I said, our people, the ethnic nationalities of Igbo, Ijo, Efik, Ishakiri, Ibibio, and the rest that made up Biafra, that still exists today, which they call tribe in Nigeria. They tell you Nigeria has more than 250 tribes. What they call tribes is not enough tribes. The majority of them are nations.
Okay.
ancient
Say it again.
nations.
Say that again. It's an important
What
point
they
you're
call
making.
tribe, they tell you Nigeria
Mm-hmm.
has many tribes. They
Mm-hmm.
tell them to write the story, they won't. They just wave it. But I'm saying, and I'm saying it categorically, unequivocally on your show, that
Mm-hmm.
what they call tribe are
Mm-hmm.
nations, authentic
Mm-hmm.
nations of Africa
Mm-hmm.
that we have forcefully, criminally
Mm-hmm.
merged together as a business enterprise. Don't forget, what you call Nigeria that started as a Royal Niger Company. It's a company,
Yeah.
like you register a
Correct.
company and the company's house in the UK.
Correct. Yes. That's right. That's right.
And then renamed into Nigeria, a mockery of a name suggested by Frederick Lugar's girlfriend or side
That's
chick,
right. Yeah. It came,
Flora
I
Shaw.
think. I think she became his wife, did she not? I think she became his wife
Well,
later.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm just saying
Okay.
the one I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So so my father did tell me that she was a wife. I was told she was a girlfriend. And that, there's no proof. I haven't seen any marriage certificate or anything
Okay.
to confirm that she was a
Okay.
wife. So
Okay.
what I'm saying in essence is that this is an unholy marriage consummated in an unsacred bed or bedroom that gave birth to Nigeria. Before then, these nationalities or nations were in existence. And I told you also that the bite of Biafra was there. I have been into the British Museum in London and other places, and there are evidence of till today of the existence of Biafra way back in the 1300s that is in the museum. You can check it out.
I agree. Let me up to this point, and I just want to be clear. So I've had to study, of course. You call him Lord. I'm not going to give him that title. Mr. Lugard's uh, uh, ability to gain the confidence of the leaders of the Hausa people, the Yoruba people, and of course the Igbo people. Okay.
Yeah,
So for them to sign the original treaty that brought Nigeria in as a state, an independent state. Okay. Now, and I'm interested in that the Igbo people and a single leader. Okay. Is there even today a, a unofficial or indeed official single leader for the Igbo people?
in my Igbo nation, there's a
Mm-hmm.
common adage that says Igbo enweze, meaning literally Igbos have no king. We don't bow to a king.
Okay, okay.
That doesn't mean we don't have a leader or we don't
Mm-hmm.
understand leadership or
Mm-hmm.
hierarchy or structure,
Mm-hmm.
but because we are originally Republicans,
Okay, okay.
okay, we have a decentralized leadership structure. And I think, as you said, Lugard and the cohorts capitalized on it to do what I call the fraud, because the amalgamation part or treaty you mentioned was
Mm-hmm.
signed purportedly. Don't forget, it was written in English. None of
Indeed.
those
Mm-hmm.
traditional rulers in
Okay.
1914 understood a word of English, but
Mm-hmm.
they signed,
Mm-hmm.
apparently on behalf of the whole lot of us and generations to come.
Yes.
By six of them, six, now you can count them on my fingers,
Mm-hmm.
the traditional rulers from what they call the Southern Protectorate, which comprised
Mm-hmm.
of Biafra and the Duduwas or the Yorubas you mentioned, as the
Yes.
majority nationality in that area, and the
Yes.
Northern Protectorate, which is the
Yes.
Hausas and all the Nupes, the other ethnic nationalities in the north.
Yes.
But as this was going on, the Fulanis, who today
Mm-hmm.
control Nigeria, who are less than 5% of the population, were conducting their jihad all the way from north, from the Sahel, Niger,
Mm-hmm.
Chad, and the rest, coming down, killing
Mm-hmm.
and massacring people up north,
Mm-hmm.
which they are still doing today, to
Mm-hmm.
conquer their land up north. So they had a deal with Lugar's army, the British army, to say, okay, let's stop. We will come together. We will manage it. I will be the chief executive. You will be the manager.
Mm-hmm.
Note this point.
Yes.
So back then, as at 1914,
Mm-hmm.
six people were handpicked as paramount, or I call them paramount rulers.
Indeed.
the Obong of Calabar, and
Yes.
people like that. There was
Yeah.
no proper traditional leader of Igbo that was
I
there, that was
understand.
chosen by the people. To answer your
I
question, direct.
thank you. That's
However,
rather clear. Uh-huh.
providence or natural wisdom instructed them to agree, because this, don't forget I said Nigeria started as a company, Royal Niger Company, to agree that this deal, like a lease, will have an expiry date. So it was signed in there too that this experiment, this nonsensical unholy marriage, will
Okay.
last for 100 years.
100 years. Is that written
Yes.
down anywhere? Was that
It
written
was in the
down?
treaty. Yeah, go on again, do your research. It was in the amalgamation treaty. And that is where IPOB came on board. I'm going to link it. So
Mm-hmm.
as we continued, it became worse and worse by the day, week, month, year, decade.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
after 100 years, which was 2014,
2014. Aha. Right.
Nigeria
That's why that
officially,
date is so important. Yes.
yes, Nigeria officially expired. Remember I said on your show here that you said it
You
was your first
did.
time of hearing it, that Nigeria is
Yes.
dead.
Uh-huh.
Because the treaty that gave birth to it
Right.
said clearly your lifespan is 100 years. And
Okay.
without a resuscitation, without a new a revibration, you cannot exist. And there hasn't been any.
Understood. Right.
And there
So,
hasn't been any today. So technically, biologically, naturally, spiritually, Nigeria died in 2014. So what we have as Nigeria today is a contraption that is undergoing a very protracted funeral service by some
yes.
rogue administrators who you call Nigerian political leaders, including the president.
Which includes the person. And actually, just to pause there, because the point has been well made now, and I will provide additional information to help the audience to appreciate the descriptions that you have provided, and it's really important. So we talked about the vision to reinstate a Biafra, and therefore the mission, of course, the tactic that you will use. I want to focus on that aspect, if I may now, please, because that will help us to move forward in terms of
Yes,
understanding Nandi Cardo and of course, your leaders. So I just want to now just focus on the mission, how you wish to reinstate the state of Biafra. So just tell us the
yes.
stratagem
IPOB mission is
Mhm.
to, as I said in the trying to define the vision, is to peacefully, through a
Okay.
democratic means of referendum, delegitimize the political, geographical, mere geographical expression. That's what Nigeria's leaders describe Nigeria as, a mere
Okay.
political, geographical expression called Nigeria, through the sensitization of both Biafrans and
Hmm.
people of the world about the illegality the British contraption has held indigenous peoples of not just Biafra, but the rest of that map to
Yes.
ransom. We
Yes.
will do this through
Yes.
education,
Okay.
awareness, enlightenment,
Right.
diplomatic missions and offensive,
Yes.
and continuous re-education,
Okay.
which we do through our media,
Yes.
the conventional media, Radio Biafra,
Yes.
Biafra television, and
Right.
also social media that we are very, very active and alive on. So we have
Right.
been on this campaign and it has put Nigeria on the spot. The leaders have been jittery because they know that we have all the facts, we have all the
Hmm.
evidence. And
Right.
all we are doing is to say, please, the world, we are no
Hmm.
longer going to go to 1967 when a war was brought on our people and
Hmm.
genocide of
Yes.
indescribable proportion was committed and the
Indeed.
world turned a blind eyes to it. We are not going to go back to that. Thank God for
Mm.
technology. Thank God for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We are going to
Yes.
do it in a peaceful way, like many other European countries have been able to do
Yes.
to regain their freedom or independence. Like even
Yes.
some other countries in Africa, South Sudan, Eritrea, and a few have done recently. So we are able to do it. What we've been saying is that we've been very patient. We have lost a lot, human capital,
Yes.
natural resources in the
Yes.
quest for freedom. For
Yes.
the 100 years the amalgamation treaty allowed, we tried to do it our own way in 67 to 70. We lost over 6 million people in
I
a
know.
genocide. But we are not going to go through that again. So that's what IPOB has been doing, using these mediums of education, enlightenment, awareness to let people know that it's high time we took control of our own destiny. And it's also high time that our people are allowed to realize their full potentials, not
Absolutely.
just for our own good, but for the good of our neighbors and the whole
Yes.
wide world.
Nnamdi Kanu says,
Principal critical work that should have been done with the freedom fighting was not done. And what is that? Education. What we are here for. We are here to get Biafra, yes. But I don't want Biafra of idiots. Azikiwe fought for independence. Jomo Kenyatta fought for independence. Kwame Nkrumah fought for independence. Arap Moi fought for independence. Nyerere fought for independence. Even right now, remember, I don't want to talk about Eduardo dos Santos of Angola. That's different. I want to talk about Nelson Mandela. He fought for independence. Are you telling me that South Africa you have today was what Mandela fought for? Are you telling me that Mandela died that black people will be hunting down other black people to kill? The answer is no.
Different diplomatic mission. IPOB has spent a lot and continue to spend a lot. I'm not allowed to say certain things on air in terms of in the redeployment of resources towards lobbying, engaging the international community the right way. And that includes the United Nations, the European Union, the government of the United States of America, the government of this country as well. Because we know and appreciate that we need to have an understanding with the British government. They are the midwife that gave birth to Nigeria. And we need to have some understanding with them. We
Give us
are
some
not
idea then of the
averse
responses.
to
Give us some idea
negotiation.
then. Give us some idea of the responses you're receiving from these other nations and international agencies. How are they responding to your claim for independence and recognition of your independence?
The responses have been in trickles, if I'm very honest. But I must also admit that over time, particularly since our leader, Oyenduma Nnamdi Kanu, was kidnapped in Kenya, an extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, and has remained in illegal incarceration. We'll talk about it. It's just been in court today for 4 years now and 4 months.
Mm-hmm. Can I,
We
before I
have
go to
started
him,
receiving better. Sorry, let me finish. We have started receiving better ears, if you like, from the international community,
okay.
because now the awareness is greater. The world can no longer play the ostrich or pretend they don't know what is happening. And thanks to good people like you who always amplify what we also do on Radio Biafra and our own media, because it's not only IPOB or Biafra media outlets that can propagate our stories. We need the cooperation of everybody,
Yes.
like minds, lovers of freedom,
Yes.
people like
Yes.
you, and even the wider community, including the British people. So we've been doing that. Those are opening, I must say. I'm not allowed again to give details.
No.
Those are opening. We've engaged the one you can see in the media. Many US senators recently
Okay. Okay.
have called for Nigeria to be redesignated as a country of particular concern. It was before in the first presidency of President Donald Trump. Then Joe Biden came in, the Democrats doing what they do. I'm not here to talk about American politics, but we
Let's not
know
do
who's
that,
who.
Dan. Let's not do
Yeah,
that.
so Joe Biden removed Nigeria from the list and started selling arms to them to kill Biafrans once again. But thankfully, a lot of senators in the US Senate have started speaking. It's in the news this week. Again, we spent a lot of resources 2022-23 engaging the British Parliament, both the House of Commons and the House
All
of
right.
Lords, And we are still doing that. We have very good people here in Britain who have done, well, you're going to ask me later on what we have done the last 4
Okay,
years.
that's
So
what I'm saying. You
I'll
might
reserve
with my
that. Yeah,
questions. Yeah,
I'll
there's
reserve
not
that.
too many. There's not too
Okay.
many about my question, but this is very useful. Can I just
It's the Motivator here. Hope you enjoyed that fantastic podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, or at the very least, give us a like. And don't forget the next video on screen. Click through and enjoy.